Welcome back to EGTV, where today we've got something a little bit different. We're going to be reviewing one of the new 2023 Defenders. My car's in for a service, so they've given me this as a loan car. I got a few stats somewhere on the car, so I'll read those out on what this one is in my pocket here, and then I'll take you for a little walk around and then give you my views on it. So this is an X-Dynamic 2023 power 295 brake horsepower with an 8-speed auto, engine size 2-litre petrol. It's a little bit underpowered, but it kind of works. The 0 to 60 7 seconds, giving a combined MPG of 25.9, which isn't great, but it's a big car for a small engine. 400 newton meters at 1500 RPM, and top speed is 119 miles an hour. So it's all right. That is what the first problem with it is, the engine size. It could be just a little bit bigger, a little bit better, but you know, it does the job. It's not too bad. It does the job. I've been driving it a little bit this morning, and it's pretty good. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get on to taking you a quick walk around the car, showing you the outside. It is raining, of course, in November here in England. So starting at the front, I think this is the best looking Defender front I've seen. It's just blacked out. It looks really good. On the top here, you've got the black Defender lettering, which always works well. You've got the checker plate, which looks really good. Not keen on checker plate on older Defenders because it makes them rust underneath, but on the new ones it looks really good. They're currently running on 20-inch with Pirelli, I think, Scorpion tyres. And the side steps are pretty cool. They're actually really handy to get in and out. As soon as I jumped in it this morning, I was straight onto them and into the car. So yeah, moving around. One thing it doesn't have, which I'd probably add if it was my personal car, is the kind of storage boxes on the side. I think they're pretty cool. Not that keen on roof racks, but yeah. Anyway, moving around the car, it's pretty sleek. It's pretty cool. Look how big the wing mirrors are here. They're absolutely massive. I mean, the size of my hands are pretty big anyway, but the size of those are huge. But it's a really cool spec car. I think must be because it's the X-Dynamic car. I'm not too up to date on the whole specs of these, but it's pretty good. It's pretty nice. Coming into the rear, one thing I have noticed is you get away with it because of something in the car, but that rear wheel really blocks your rear view. I think it's just sitting, I think it sits up a little bit too high, but it's good. I'm enjoying it so far. I think the exhausts, they've mucked those up a little bit. These tow hooks are pretty cool. They're pretty big and ruggedized. You could probably stand on those. But all in all, the look of this is pretty epic. It's a cool looking car. It does the job. So just sitting in at the back here, I thought I'd get the kind of front on view. What do I like about this car is not that much with the inside. I think this lacks kind of, it's just too minimalistic. I quite like a little bit more in the car. The screen is okay, apart from when you click Apple CarPlay, if I can do that. It cuts the screen off here and here, which I find really annoying. I like a big full screen of this, and it is just a bit annoying that it cuts it off. It's a little bit clunky. Everything's just a bit, I get why they've done it, and I guess if you don't like this kind of style, you've got to go for a Range Rover, but I think it's pretty, it's okay. It doesn't set the world alight. Although, however, the roof here is a really nice big roof, but one problem with it, this is one of the problems. If you take the roof all the way back, look at this. So that's how big the roof is. Only opens up that amount. So it's a really small opening. It should go back a lot further, but I can't press the button, nothing happens. So it's a bit irritating. That's the first thing I don't really like about it. I think that's a bit of a cop out. I think they could have got it to go further back, but the other thing I don't really like is the engine. I think it would be absolutely fine. Just going to close this. I think it would be absolutely fine if we had the 3 litre or above. Even that the V8, the 5 litre would be wicked. That would be awesome in this car. And yeah, the screen, I think for me, it's just a bit pathetic. And the kind of dashboard, could have done more with it, personally. Things I really like is the size of the car. It's huge, and I love big cars. I love being high up. Here we go. One reason why you don't have to worry about the rear tires, because they've got this electric rear view mirror which portrays the camera on the back, and that is just a wicked feature. And if you want normal, you just flick it, and there we go. So that's a really cool feature. I do really like that. And then if I just jump out of the back here, there's a huge space in the back here. If you were a family, you could, easily have, got the Isofix, you've got baby seats in here, as well as if you just had normal passengers. It's just a comfortable place to be. You obviously got the big roof. It just feels really spacious in this car, and you've got good grab handles. There's all sorts of different features of this car that are just quite cool. So yeah, and then one thing I was slightly disappointed with, which I thought was going to be a lot bigger, was the boot. I think that's quite small. I guess when you fold the seats down, it would be a bit better, but I just think it's quite small. I just don't think it's that big for a huge car. Look at that. It is a good car, but for the price, I think they're slightly overpriced. Especially being a 73 plate. It's almost brand new. It's done, I think, 4,000 miles. They are quite expensive, but yeah, anyway, that's the kind of interior of the car. I think they're pretty slick. Shame about the roof not going back far enough, and the screen just looking a bit too minimalistic, but it's a pretty good place to be. On a long journey, I can imagine it's pretty comfortable. I only did about 25 minutes in it this morning. What I'll do now is just take you for a quick drive and kind of give you my summary on how I'm finding the car and what I think about it. It is a good car, and I'm not going to complain. If I own this, I'll be pretty happy. But I'll tell you what I wouldn't do is trade it for my old Land Rover. That Defender is the best thing, and you can't get better, buckle up. That old Defender is the best thing you can buy. But yeah, anyway, it's a good car. It's good off-road. I'm just on a little track at the minute, about to join a kind of main road, and it is nice. It is a good car, good spot to be in. I'll show you. It's nice. It's a good place. Let's get out onto the main road, and I'll flip the camera around. You can have a look at the first-person view of the road. There's 20, 30, 40. It's not okay, it's not horrifically slow, but I think it could just be a little bit quicker. It just could be a little bit quicker. It just kind of takes a bit of time to get there, and I like fast cars. That's apart from if you're comparing it to the old Defender, but the old Defender's not supposed to be fast. These are supposed to be, I don't know, just a bit more. So it handles pretty nicely. It's a wet day. It's nice and quiet. One thing an old Defender is really loud. These are obviously brand new, so they're quiet. It's got, the engine's quiet unless you put your foot down a bit. There we go, putting your foot down, 50. And it's just, yeah, it's all right. But that's the problem, I think, with it. It's just all right. It's not amazing. It's not rubbish. It's not exciting. It's just okay. That's the problem with it. But I think I'd have a slightly different spec in terms of engine. But the look of it is probably my favorite thing. I think it looks pretty beastly, and if you had those storage bags on the side, it just makes it look chunky. It's just a big old unit, and that's what I like with cars, when they're just big and chunky. That's why I love the old Defenders. I always think they look massive. We'll head down this little track here. It's not really an off-road track, but see, on a track like this, it fares well. It's really comfy. You hit a pothole, you can't really feel it. So it's a nice car. So that's my kind of review of the car. I'll give you a kind of amateur's summary, which I think it's a real amateur summary. So I was thinking, if you don't like if you don't care kind of too much about speed, you don't mind the tech. I think the tech in this car is just a bit, it lacks. And there's just not enough around you. It's all a bit, the armrests are a bit annoying. I like the way the fold down armrests in a Range Rover, so you can kind of sit there like that and just be really comfy. But if you don't kind of care about that and you just want a nice rugged car day to day, then it's a really good daily. Especially I think if you had a family, it's so big in the back, the doors open so wide. I think it would be a really good place. And if you're doing a long motorway journey, let's say going to the Alps or somewhere like that, skis on the roof, and I think it would be a really good daily car to have. But yeah, as I said, I think it's good, but it's not quite good enough for me. I think I like a little bit more. One thing I have noticed is they've put a lot of USB-C and USB ports around everywhere, so you can plug in, as well as having wireless CarPlay, which is also a benefit. Anyway, I'll probably end the video here. It's good, but not quite good enough for me. But I wouldn't mind I don't mind driving it. I would get in this every day and I wouldn't mind driving it, but I wouldn't want to buy it myself. But anyway, next video we're back onto the old Defender, where I'm going to be doing some soundproofing and stuff like that, which is a lot more fun. I like tinkering around with that Land Rover. I wouldn't want this because I wouldn't be able to do much for it apart from chucking some lights on the roof and change a couple of the bits on the front, but it's just not much to do to them. I think that's the problem. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode where we'll be back on the Land Rover.